Hey everyone, welcome to the TGC channel. My name is Al, and today I bring you on another statue collection tour, but this is actually part 2 of Nathan Chaffman's statue collection. So if you haven't seen part 1, make sure to go right ahead and check that out beforehand. But without further ado, I'm going to go right ahead and just pass it over to Nathan.
Hey everybody, this is Nathan back with you again for part 2 of the room tour. If you haven't seen part 1 yet, look for the link below. We'll be covering the pieces I didn't cover in the first video today, which mostly consists of the Samurai series from XM Studios, some horror pieces, and some classic DC characters. We'll also be taking a look at my newest acquisition, the Prime 1 Studios Jungle Hunter Predator. Thanks for watching and enjoy the show. So this would be the newest addition to the collection, the 1/3 scale Jungle Hunter Predator from Prime 1. This is the deluxe edition. I bought this table off of Marketplace just for this piece. It is heavy, but man is it cool. I put most of the heads back in the box, kept this one out in the masked one, a few of the hands. Really cool. This will be a one-off purchase. I have their endoskeleton from Terminator ordered as well. And then ultimately that will be paired with Big Chap and Jungle Hunter. So this is my work area. I predominantly work from home. The monitor is a 48-inch Aorus OLED 4K, and it's mounted to the wall on a movable arm. This is my home build over here, and I have a laptop that I use for work. I keep a couple statues in the corner. I've got a little Cthulhu from Gecko, swap out for a Queen Studios piece, and a 3D printed Velma that was painted. Off to the side, I keep some of the Bermejo Joker alternate portraits in this football case, actually. Got a DC Direct piece here. It's a William Paquette sculpt. Some Corvettes. And then what remains of my media collection here. Something I just couldn't get rid of. So there's a couple changes that were made to the top section here. I moved the Alex Ross elsewhere, put the Jazz Inc. bat signal up here. So we're going to revisit a few of these even though they were in part 1. This bat signal is predominantly made of plastic, but does have some metal parts. It lights up. It's got swap out plates for the various insignia on the front to match the movies and TV shows that came before. So Dark Knight Returns pieces, one from DC Direct. It's a custom bust. That's from Tiago Provin. Same sculptor that did this custom portrait here that's sitting atop the Prime 1 Studios bust. We have XM Studios quarter scale Batman Who Laughs, XM Studios 6th scale Dark Knight Returns, same but from Iron Studios. And then we have the quarter scale Dark Knight Returns from Sideshow Collectibles. So here we have a Silver Surfer sculpted by Franco. This was purchased as a kit and was professionally painted. We kept things fairly simple with the color palette. We used two different silvers, one for the board, one for the surfer, but they're very, very much alike. We went with dark eyes and then a high gloss finish, including on the base. The stem was high polished. I've seen some other collectors do some interesting things with the stem to include lighting it from below, and that turned out pretty well. I wanted to keep it as simple as possible for a museum-like statue. I don't really collect or read Marvel much anymore, but I just had to have this piece in my collection. So here's a quick overview of what's in here. I'll talk a little bit about the shelving before we go into each individual statue. The shelving is from IKEA. These are the PAX units. These are the largest size that they make and are about 90 inches tall, roughly 1 meter wide, and 22 inches deep. I've reinforced them underneath with a vertically mounted board and a couple of wood screws on either side. I've put some wood trim across the front, and some LED bars are mounted underneath those, pointing inwards and down towards the statues within the cavities. I'm using metal shelf pegs for additional security, and most of these, with the exception of the corner unit, are mounted to the wall behind them as well for added security. The lighting is all run to a single point of contact for ease of use down here at that light strip. All right, let's get to it. So up top here we have a 1/6 scale Lobo from XM Studios. He's carrying dog up above his head. This one came with quite a few swap outs. I think 3 portraits, 2 different dog pieces, one that sits atop a turbine, and then the one that's held above Lobo's head like this, and then a couple weapon options. Next to him we have 1/4 scale Catwoman from XM Studios. This is from the Samurai series. I've always had this head sculpt on it because I've always preferred it, but the others are pretty nice as well and offer some good options. Really cool feature with the helmet. It's held on top of the gas tank with magnets. I know it gets a lot of flack because it doesn't quite fit with the rest of the line, but it's still a well done studio. Moving down, we have the main man himself again. This time in 1/4 scale, we got Lobo EX from Sideshow Collectibles. Missing the dog on this one. That's alright. Next to him, we have a #1 issue from a miniseries that I had signed at a convention by the cover artist Simon Bisley. That came back in '98. I held on to that book for a long time before I had it signed. We have an alternate head sculpt for the Prime 1 Predator. Sideshow Collectibles Pinhead. This is the EX and came with an additional box, puzzle box. In the front we have Cthulhu from a company called Manasum. It's a very small run of 150 on this, and took quite a long time to track one down because I waited on buying them direct from Sideshow. Moving down down here we have a 1/3 scale Big Chap Alien from Prime 1 Studios. And we have a Cthulhu from PCS. Very limited run on this Cthulhu. This is the collector's edition. The EX, I believe the lighthouse lights up. This one does not. Really impressed by the Big Chap so far. Looking forward to getting the Terminator endoskeleton to pair with it, as well as the Prime 1 Jungle Hunter Predator. Alright, going back to the top. Up here we have another couple from the XM Samurai series. On the left is Bane in quarter scale and Deathstroke on the right, quarter scale. Deathstroke was one of the first pieces released in this line. Not the first, but one of the first. And it's definitely a crowd favorite. A lot of people favor this one over a lot of the others. And it's easy to understand why. Really standout base. Really great color choices from the art direction. Really well done. And Bane is just massive. He comes with a giant club and also comes with this axe. I had the club displayed for quite a long time and recently moved him and was able to finally display the axe. So that's what's on there now. And man, he's really cool. In the middle, we have just a little figure that came from a family member. All right, moving to the middle. These are some of my favorite pieces in the collection. We have the Trinity, all inspired by the art of Alex Ross. It's a little controversy with the original studio behind these. This Batman on the right is from the original run. It was made in a kit form, and I had it professionally painted. The Wonder Woman and Superman came from later productions that were picked up by a community member to really just kind of keep the project alive, and has been doing the Lord's work ever since. So thank you. You know who you are. Superman came with an alternate torso, and so did Wonder Woman. They both have alternate portraits. The Batman has multiple portraits beyond this one, with some shorter ears or with his cowl off. All of these turned out really, really well. Alright, moving down here to the bottom, we have one from Sideshow in the middle. This is a Dragon Slayer. This is the EX version. I purchased her because, well, Sideshow had a deal on her, and in addition, it was on their second site, and so I got her for a phenomenal price. But I think it's a really well done statue, and I really like the direction they went with it. And man, she's just a badass. on either side of her, we have a couple from the same company. These are 2 of a set of 4. We have Peach Blossom on the right and Summer Drunken Beauty on the left. These are just some that I appreciated the art in. And I've spent a lot of time in Asia myself, and this is representative of that time as well. So up here we have a couple more from XM's Samurai series. We have Harley Quinn in quarter scale and the Penguin in quarter scale. Now you'll notice that there's a couple pieces missing from the Penguin statue, and that is for the purpose of fitting in this enclosure here. One of the large penguins on the left side is not there, it's back in the box, as well as the carrying posts that extend from either side. Both statues are really well done. Harley comes with a few portraits, and Penguin does as well. And Penguin has some additional swap outs for his hands in addition to the portraits. The snow could have been better done with Penguin, but there's enough highlights elsewhere that we can forget them, I think. Harley does have a light up feature in this lantern on the right. I've never used it. Okay, so here we have Shogun Batman from XM Studios, the Samurai series once again. Definitely the centerpiece of my collection, and was definitely one of the highlights of my collecting hobby the day I picked this up. I actually got it as a local deal, and it was sealed, had never been opened. Came with a lot of swap outs, weapons, portrait, even arm. It's got a crossbow or this long spear. You can fit a sword to his hand. It's got an unmasked portrait. Well, no helmet, at least. Still has a cowl. Wonderful paint, wonderful sculpt on this. I added a bit of extra flair in the back with some faux maple leaves from a local hobby store. I believe it was Hobby Lobby. And we have a couple plushes from Hallmark there in the corner. So down here at the bottom, we have a couple from Prime One Studios. These are both 1/3 scale. We have Batman for the Dark Knight Returns, and we have a Joker from Lee Bermejo, which is to commemorate the cover of the Joker 80th anniversary issue, as you see there. This was my first 1/3 scale purchase several years ago, and I've always kept them around because I really like it, as well as this Bermejo. So I've got the 1/3 bust that mimics this as well, and I've got a custom portrait that fits in this if I chose to display it there. Right now it's sitting in the bust. Alright, on the right side we have some more from XM Studios Samurai Collection. We've got Poison Ivy, Scarecrow, and the Red Hood. These are some of my favorites because they have some of the smaller bases. XM's notorious for just kind of overdoing it with the size of their bases they produce. But these are some of the best renditions, I think, to represent the Samurai line. Poison Ivy is really well done. The blossoming flowers are a wonderful touch that surround her. Very colorful, intricately designed. Just a couple mixed media features, as in the umbrella. That's real wood, I believe, on the umbrella. And then Scarecrow. Man, this one's cool. Really like both portraits on this. And I consistently swap out between the two. Really, really cool standout paint on the base of this. And last but not least is Red Hood there. Really, really cool from XM. All right. On the next shelf down, we have a Orochi Joker and the OG Batman Samurai. Both from XM Studios. I think this Joker piece is underappreciated. Very, very creepy looking. Great paintwork on this. Decent amount of swap outs too. Multiple head portraits, arms, weapons. And then same goes with the OG Samurai Batman. Tons of swap outs. Sculpted cape. Beautiful work. There's hints of like a dark metallic purple in this that you kind of have to see in person to make out well. I finished it off with some faux flowers in the back. Rounding off the collection in the PAX units is these three down here from Sideshow Collectibles. On the right we have their original Batman premium format. This is the modern age variant. Next to that we have an Alex Ross cover. And then we have a couple Sideshow pieces that have been somewhat modified. The Joker has a custom head sculpt on there currently. This is the EX editions, but I have the other two portraits in drawers right now. And then the Harley was modified in a way where her outfit was removed. She had some additional sculpt work done and then was repainted head to toe. The former owner had that work done, and I was lucky enough to purchase her just like this. This is classic Sideshow, and I just really, really still appreciate it and enjoy it. So right here we have a couple graded books that have no other home for now. I've got a bunch of cases here that are full of pluck foam for swap outs, and these are fairly large. They're all full at the moment. In addition to this unit I have down here, but I've added some liners too. It's getting full as well. Even got some Christmas hats. And next to them is all the posters that I've yet to frame. I'll get to them one day. So that's going to do it for part 2 of the room tour. Thank you so much for watching. A big special thank you to Al and Top Gun Collector for hosting the video. We appreciate everything you do for the community. Cheers, everyone.
Huge shout out to Nathan for providing us a part 2 of his statue collection tour. Now make sure to drop a comment down below. Let me know what your favorite piece was from his collection. Now I know I'm going to be a little bit biased here, but I'm going to have to give it over to the 1/3 scale Jungle Hunter Predator by Prime 1 Studio. And well, if you've seen that piece in person, you'll understand why. But yeah, thank you all for joining me. Up next, I'm going to be doing a review of the 1/3 scale Hulk by LBS. It's actually going to be the premiere edition, so it'll be like the comes with the 3 torsos. Now I already got that piece. It's just haven't unboxed. It's a huge pallet delivery. I think it's over 350 pounds, so it's gonna be a fun one. But yeah, that'll be dropping hopefully in the next week or so. But yeah, again, thank you all for joining me for this statue collection tour video, and hope to catch you all on the next one.